This lesson is about rearranging harder formulae. You are going to learn how to change the subject of a formulae that has the variable that you want to make a subject on both sides of the equations. There is a simpler version of this which you only got the variable on one side. That will be in grade 5. If you want to go through, have a go at those ones, you can feel free. Why do you have to rearrange formula? Well, you may ask, because for example, in this Pythagoras formula, I'm pretty sure you are all familiar with it. Pythagoras theorem formula, same thing. If you want to find the shorter side, you can make A the subject. So you're going to make Pythagoras proud, even though he might be in heaven looking at you. Well, I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to make your life easier in rearranging harder formulae. The first one is when both fractions are fractions, consider cross multiplying. Like what you did with algebraic fractions, when you want to solve them, you want to cross multiply them. And then if there are terms more than one variable on the same side, you want to bring in one side and factorize it. And last but not least, if you have multiple fractions with different denominators, you might want to simplify the fractions first and then cross multiply again. So the key is when you have a fraction, cross multiply. If you have square root, do the opposite, square it, or if you have factorize it. So these are some keywords can help you try to do them. There's no one rule fit all in maths, unfortunately. So you do have to be flexible and try to deploy different strategies. Okay, but I'll go through some of these strategies, common strategies with you. But before that, have a go at start the question, pause the video. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Here are the answers. Okay, hopefully should be fairly straightforward. First example, want to make x a subject in this one. You see x is appearing on both sides. So what you want to do is you want to bring them on one side and factorize it. Ultimately, to make x a subject, you only need one x because x equal. So therefore, we're going to bring the x on one side. Now, I'm going to color code it. That means these terms should be on the same side, and these two terms without an x should be on the other side. So we're going to bring the cx to left hand side, and we're going to bring the plus b to right hand side. So what does it become? So ax remains on left hand side. The cx plus cx becomes a minus cx. The right hand side, we have a negative d. The plus b on the right hand side becomes a minus b. Next, we're going to factorize it. So x bracket a minus c equals minus d minus b. Then to remove the a minus c, there's a hidden sign between them, which is times. We're going to divide it. So x equal minus d minus b over a minus c. And that's the answer. We don't care what it looks on the right hand side, as long as there's no x, there's no variable of subject we need on the right hand side. The variable of subject is only on the left hand side, and that's the answer. Next two examples I'm going to show you is the ones with a fraction, which is a common theme of the exam. So first of all, we want to make p the subject. You can see first of all there's p in numerator, denominator, but they're all under the square root. So we do have to get rid of square root before we can get into the problem. To get rid of square root, we're going to square on both sides. So it becomes m squared equals pn plus a over p. Next, to get rid of fraction, we're going to multiply denominator, or cross multiply if you want to put it that way. So cross multiply means you put it over 1, and then you're going to cross multiply like this, p and that one. So on the left hand side, we've got m squared p equals 1 times that one is just a pn plus a. Next, like the previous example, we need to put both of these terms with a p on the same side. So we have to move the pn to the left hand side. So m squared p minus pn equals a. Factorize p bracket m squared minus n equals a. To get rid of this multiplying bracket, we divide it. So p equals a over m squared minus n. That's it. This one, straight away, we're going to cross multiply because we see a fraction on both sides. So cross multiply means the 3b multiplied to numerator left hand side, the c multiplied to numerator on the right hand side. So left side, 3b bracket a minus b, sorry, can't read English, c times ab plus d, multiply, so 3ab times 3b squared, or minus 3b squared, equals abc plus cd. We want to make a the subject, so we're going to highlight all the terms with an a. So these two terms with an a, That means these two terms should be on the same side, and the thing without highlighted should be on the other side. So this ABC should bring the left hand side, and this 3b squared should bring to the right hand side. So 3ab is on the left side. This plus ABC on the left hand side becomes minus ABC. CD originally is on the right hand side, so they are still there. The minus 3b squared is going to be immigrated to plus 3b squared. Okay, so from negative to positive. To make A the subject, factorize it. Bracket 3b minus bc. Now one will be thinking, why don't we factorize b as well? Now we don't factorize b in here is because we don't care about b. This is all about A, the subject. So we don't have to factorize b. So equals cd plus 3b squared. To get rid of this bracket, you've done this many times, you're going to divide to the right hand side. So cd plus 3b squared over 3b minus bc. And that's the answer. This example, next one, we're going to see terms with some fractions, some are not fractions. Students will usually be confused what to do first. I'm going to introduce two methods to you, whichever you prefer or whichever you are happier to apply yourself. Okay, so method number one. Method number one involves simplifying the right hand side first. You can see this is a fraction, that's not a fraction, so we're going to simplify the right hand side first. So I'm going to 1 over 4x plus, I'm going to put 2 over 1. I'm going to put 2 over 1. Next, I'm going to simplify these two first. So, which becomes, if I want to have a common denominator, that will be x over 4 plus 8 over 4. So I can simplify the 2y over 5 equals x plus 8 over 4. Now note, when you have a quarter times x, you can rewrite as x over 4. 2 over 5 times y, same as 2y over 5. Next, we can do what we're familiar with, cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, 4 times 2y is 8y. 5 times x plus 8, put a bracket, so 8y equals 5x plus 40. To make x a subject, we bring the 40 left hand side. So 8y minus 40 equals 5x. Divided by 5, so 8y minus 40 over 5 equals x. We tend to like to write x on the left hand side, so I'm just going to rewrite it and put x on the left hand side, and that's the answer. Method number two. Same thing, I'm going to change the 2 into 2 over 1. Okay, so nothing changed, plus 2 over 1. But what's changing here is I'm going to deal with all the fractions at the same time. 5, 4, and 1. The lowest common factor, lowest common multiple is 20. So I'm going to turn all of them into 20. Now, the first fraction, I need to times this by 4, times this by 5, times this by 20. So 2y times 4, 8y, 1x times 5, 5x, 2 times 20, 40. Now, once all the fractions have the same denominator, essentially we can just ignore it as if it didn't appear at all. So we can just rewrite by the numerator 8y equal 5x plus 40. Now, you can only do this when all the fractions have exactly the same denominator. Okay, so once you've got to this stage, and then if you rearrange the 40 to the right hand side, then you're just turning this step into here, and you can just follow the same steps. All right, so choose one method, whichever you're happier with. This lesson is a shorter one. There's only one practice question. Don't celebrate too quickly. Pause the video, have a go. When you can do them all correctly, then you celebrate. Have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, press play. Here are the answers. So question A and B. Now there is one way, more than one way, you can write the final answer. So if you're unsure, you can go and check with your teacher. But that's the answer I've got. If you follow step by step, you should get the same answer as I do. Okay, and that's C and D. Nothing I do have to mention about expanded bracket, etc. So I think it should be fine. and then E and F. Yeah, okay. So hope you got them all correct and you can go and celebrate and go and enjoy the maths joke.